live, but I thought, you know what, let me just jump on. You know, I just checked some news in regards to, you know, Manchester United news in regards to Casemiro. And it's looking like, you know, and big up to Fitz as well, because Fitz did say, you know, that the celebration from when Casemiro scored the goal. Who was it against again? Who was it against? I think it was the last home game that United won, where Casemiro scored. I can't remember who it was against, but you know that celebration from Casemiro looked like that he was well and truly looking like he wants to do a quick U-turn at the club. Because obviously, what's been reported, you know, that Casemiro is going to leave the club. But yeah, listen, I think, would I keep Casemiro? 100%. You know, Casemiro is what, 34 years of age. You know, obviously on a lot of money at United, one of their highest paid players. But I think someone of his experience, you know, you can't really ignore that. You can't really ignore that. Big up to Fitz as well. Big up my guy each and every time. So yeah, as I said, I think the news that I've seen, which I'm going to go through in a minute, but let me put like a little poll up. Let me see what you guys are thinking. So, would you keep Casemiro next season? Quite simple. Let's give me 1 minute, guys. So would you keep Casemiro next season? It's going to start a quick little poll. Let me know what you think, guys, yeah? So Cass staying for one more season, Casemiro, I hear it, but I do definitely think we need to at least get 2 or 3 midfielders. You know, I'm still gonna stick with that. But guys, yeah, make sure you're voting. Let me know what you'll do with Casemiro. Would you keep him for one more season with his experience, or would you would you definitely be with him going? Let me just read out from what I saw as well, yeah. So I saw it via Sport Witness. Says, as of March 2026, Manchester United has reopened internal discussions regarding Casemiro potentially viewing him as a useful option, despite a previously agreed upon summer exit. While a move to MLS or a reunion with Thiago Silva in Portugal are possible options, the midfielder reportedly prioritizes staying in European football. So look, as I said, guys, yeah, Casemiro for me, it's a no-brainer. You know, I think if Casemiro does stay as well, I think we're potentially looking at, you know, I think we definitely get 2 midfielders, but maybe the third one probably won't happen if Casemiro does stay. And I think based on as I said, based on what he has offered the club this season, I think we'll be very, very silly, man, to not keep Casemiro. I'm definitely with him staying. Big up to Baz Wandiva as well. Big up yourself. Guys, make sure you're voting. Let me see what you think. So 7% of you say yes, 33% of you say no. And the ones that don't think Casemiro should stay, let me know in the chat, guys, why you think it'll be time to move him on. Big up to Lewis Jackson. Yeah, big up yourself, man. But listen, I think Casemiro being part of this team next season, you know, even though if he is 34, you wouldn't expect Casemiro, you know, to play every game. But I think his experience, you know, the fact that he's a leader, he's a winner, you know, he's the one true winner that we have at this club, you know, and I don't think personally we should be letting someone of that caliber go out the door, you know. Again, his wage is an issue, you know, but I think if we can lower the wage, you know, would Casemiro be happy to sign for the club on a 1-year deal on, let's say, I don't know, 150 grand a week? You know, I reckon he would be happy with that, you know, because I do believe that Casemiro does want to stay at the club. But yeah, I think it's more of a case of him negotiating, you know, a wage which is going to be acceptable, obviously, for him and what United are thinking. Because if you're looking at how much it's going to cost to replace a Casemiro, you know, you'd be better off for me signing two proper midfielders, you know, Camavinga, Tonali, you know, Wharton, Baleba, and then keeping Casemiro with Kobe as well. I definitely think the club should be looking at that. But yeah, man, I think it is positive news, and I think you have to say with INEOS as well. You know, I'm actually content with INEOS right now. I think INEOS for me, you know, they are starting to make some proper moves, and I think if they was to keep Casemiro at Manchester United, you know, you have to look at that as a positive, 100%. I'd be very surprised if there's any negativity in terms of Casemiro staying and people thinking, you know, that's not a good deal for the club. You know, if we get rid of Ugarte, you know, because Ugarte has no use to this club, you know, and we bring in 2 or 3 midfielders to go with Casemiro, then listen, man, I think that is literally a no-brainer for me. That is literally a no-brainer, man. Guys, there's 20 of you in there. Let me know what you think about Casemiro. Do you think Casemiro should be staying at the club with his experience and his quality? Because I look at Casemiro, yeah, and I look at Casemiro as, in terms of best ever central midfielders that Man United have had, Casemiro's right up there. Like he is right up there. I'm looking at the likes of Brian Robson, you know, Roy Keane, Paul Scholes, Paul Pogba. Casemiro's there, no doubt. No doubt is he there, man. The amount of crucial goals that this guy scores, you know, the amount of times that he chips in with valuable winners, man. Like, it's not by accident, you know. And people were saying that Casemiro, his legs have gone, etc. But let's face it, yeah. Let's face it. As soon as Carrick's come to this team as being manager, there's been no talk about Casemiro's legs going. No talk about it one bit. So, again, I just think that, yeah, man, it's one of them things where Casemiro is proving his value 100%, man. No doubt. Big up to Dereles, says, hope you had a good one. Yeah, listen, man, big up yourself. Big up. Guys, make sure you're voting. Would you keep Casemiro for one more season? You know, I mean, the options for central midfield, you know, Elliot Anderson is a good player, but Elliot Anderson, for me, was never realistic of coming to Manchester United. And me personally, I would definitely take Sandro Tonali ahead of Elliot Anderson. And that isn't to say that Elliot Anderson, you know, isn't a good player, but I just think if we could get Sandro Tonali, man, what a signing that would be. What a signing that would be, man. But again, man, it'd be very interesting to see who's going to be the actual signings, because I think out of the names that's been mentioned, there was Bruno Guimaraes, you know. Me personally, I don't really want Bruno Guimaraes, and for a few reasons. You know, he's going to cost a lot of money. And what's Bruno Guimaraes now? 28. I mean, 28's not old, but for the amount that he's going to cost, is it going to be worth the money? And Man United, for me, need to be getting, Man United to be getting a midfielder that can control the midfield. You know, I think the reason why I said I've clamoured on about Baleba is because I think Baleba's energy in the midfield, the fact that he is young as well, I do believe he's gonna prove all of his doubters wrong. So for me, Baleba is someone that, I mean, if we don't get Camavinga, then Baleba should be one of the options. And then the next 2 midfielders need to be controllers. So Tonali can do that. Adam Wharton can do that. The dream is Camavinga, you know. But again, the Camavinga one, unless we hear some concrete interest, you know, that's just what it is, a dream, you know. The fact that you think you're getting either. Well, listen, I didn't say we're definitely getting the players we've mentioned, because these players are going to be of high interest to a lot of teams. But I think out of Camavinga, Tonali, Baleba, Walton, Anderson, I do definitely think we're going to at least get 2 of them. You know, I do definitely think we get 2 of them. Who that's going to be, I'm not too sure. Casemiro is an amazing player, but I wouldn't keep him for another season. But we don't have much choice, unfortunately. Lewis, man, why do you think Casemiro shouldn't be kept? Why not? Don't you think that Casemiro's experience and his leadership just for one more season is going to be valuable for the likes of Kobe Minu, you know, for any new player that's coming in? Because he's the one true winner that we have at the squad. There's no one else that's won as many trophies as Casemiro. You know, if when we're looking at world-class players, he's our one true world-class player. So yeah, why wouldn't you want him to stay? Big up to Singh, says I'm loving this jacket. Yeah, big up, man. Yeah, let me know why you wouldn't keep Casemiro, man. I think Casemiro, man, is someone that we have to keep. If it came between a choice between giving Bruno Fernandes more money to stay or Casemiro to stay for one more season, for me it's easy. You're keeping Casemiro all day long. You know, and as I said, Bruno Fernandes, for me, we have to get rid of him at the end of the season, you know, just so we can revamp this midfield. Because imagine if you kept Casemiro, yeah? Bruno goes and you get in Camavinga, Tonali, and an extra midfielder, whether it's a Baleba or Walton. Imagine that summer, you know. I'm telling you, man, that's what we should be aiming for. Lewis Hall looks good. Is that deal becoming more realistic? Yeah, listen, I rate Lewis Hall, man. I think Lewis Hall, in terms of left backs now, he's the best left back in this league right now for me on current form. And again, the guy that's formerly of Chelsea. I think the Lewis Hall one is not really realistic because Newcastle drove a hard bargain trying to get Isak, trying to keep Isak. So you can only think with Lewis Hall, who's younger, you know, who's going to be England's first choice left back, you believe, in the World Cup as well with Nico O'Reilly. So yeah, it's one of them things, man, that as much as I would like Lewis Hall, I don't think we get Lewis Hall in the summer. I don't think. Because I think the bidding's going to start at 80 million. And obviously we've got other areas of the team that we need to improve. So I don't think Lewis Hall's going to be realistic. I think in terms of left backs, though, there was links today to Alphonso Davies. Now, Alphonso Davies is a player, not because I think he's an outstanding left back, because defensively he's not great, but attacking wise is a problem. But I've always said, yeah, that Patrick Dorgu can be our answer to Alphonso Davies. You know, but there's been links of Alphonso Davies today. Would I take Alphonso Davies? I mean, he does suffer a lot of injuries. I think the question with Alphonso Davies, because Davies is only 25 years of age, yeah? You're going to be looking at how much it's going to cost. Because you got, I think it's very similar to Camavinga. The only difference is I think Davies spends more time out injured than Camavinga. But if you're going to get Davies for, let's say, 40 million, which is an absolute steal, really, then you have to be in a conversation. But I think if you're looking at Alphonso Davies and you're going to spend upwards of 60 mil, again, you're better off just going to go and get an El Hadji Malik Diouf. Because I think El Hadji Malik Diouf, Lewis Hall as left backs, if it's not going to be Dorgu there long term, I think they'll be the ones that United need to be looking at, man. But yeah, I do like Lewis Hall, but I just don't think we can get Lewis Hall, man. Every day you look fabulous, man. What do you eat? Yeah, big up, man. Do you know what? Just a balanced diet, man. Nothing too special, but just making sure that you keep yourself healthy and train, man. There's no secret to it, man. Train, eat healthy, you know, get the right amount of sleep. Yeah, man, it is what it is, isn't it? But big up yourself. Ronnie Knight says, what team you supporting? Man United. Man United supporter. Davis to come teach Dorgu would be great. Yeah, fits ahead that, man. But as I said, I think Dorgu is our Alphonso Davies type player at left back with his physicality and his pace. So, yeah, man, I think that's something that we should definitely be looking at. But yeah, who knows, man? Who knows? Let's see. So, did you ever get super chat during this live session? Because you are doing it for free. People must do super chat because it will help you. Yeah, listen, everyone, people know, man, that obviously the super chat are available, but obviously I know how it works, you know what I mean? So again, I don't go through everyone's chat, you know, because I only go through ones that stand out. But obviously, you know, that option is there for the super chats. But again, I'm not gonna force the super chats. It's up to people to if people come and support the channel, you know, and they really enjoy being there, that's what matters for me, man. Most importantly, you know. But big up anyway. Ronnie, you're a Chelsea supporter, yeah? Boy, what do you think of Rafinha? I think Rafinha gets sacked end of the season, man. I don't know if they keep him. I'd like to know what Chelsea's plans are, man. To be honest with you, because I think the Rafinha experiment is going horribly wrong. I think when he first came in, you know, it was looking decent for him, but I haven't seen the game, man. But they got battered by Everton 3-0 from what I heard. So yeah, man. It's crazy though, man. It's crazy to see what's going on there. But the fact that they, as we said, start of the season, man, the fact they brought in Garnacho and Gittins, yeah, as their left wing options, it just showed you, man, that that club weren't really serious in the first place. But yeah, man, that's up to them, innit? Who did Chelsea bring in next though? I mean, they have to bring in. I mean, let's be honest, yeah. Chelsea would need someone like a Carlo Ancelotti. They need a winner. That's what it is. Like for me, Rafinha just seems happy to be there. You know, he's looking at Chelsea as a club, really, from what I see, as he seems a bit fortunate to be there. Because I actually do think he's actually a good coach, but he's landed himself, you would say, more or less a dream job being at Chelsea. Um, yeah, man, it's looking like his dream. It's looking like a dream job for him. So yeah, man, they need to go and get a winner. You know what I mean? So let's see what they do. Yeah, man, it's crazy. It's crazy. Guys, make sure we're voting. Make sure we're voting. So 62% are saying yes, 38% are saying no. Yeah, listen, as I say, man, Casemiro is someone that we need to be definitely keeping hold of, man. Because who do we go and replace Casemiro with? Like big game player, you know, his experience. Who do we go and replace him with? And again, I think Bruno Guimaraes is a good player, but Tonali for me, any day of the week, man, because again, we need a midfield that can control games. And Bruno Guimaraes, he's a, how can I explain it? He's like a box-to-box midfielder, combative, aggressive midfielder, but he can't control games the way that Sandro Tonali does. But Tonali's going to cost a lot of money. So, yeah, man, I think definitely Tonali's the one for us to get, man. Yeah, he's definitely the one to get, no doubt. But let's see. Guys, we've got 12 of you watching and 4 likes. Let's smash the like button up if you're in there. If you're enjoying the content, make sure you're smashing the like button. It's free, guys. It is free. Rate James Garner. Yeah, listen, James Garner's a good player, man. If you guys haven't seen my stream from earlier today, I done the England, obviously the 35-man squad, and I spoke about the emissions from the squad. Now, James Garner's a good player, and he does deserve a call-up, but I don't think Garner's on the plane. Even though Garner, you know, is versatile and can play right back, yeah. I don't think it's realistic for him to be, well, for him to get a call-up. Not because he's not good enough, but if you look at the players that are in that squad, you know, you've got Livramento, Spence that can both play right back. Reece James, if he's fit, is going to be the first choice right back. So that's already, you got 3 players that can play right back. And Garner, you know, with his versatility, can play there also. But if you look at the midfield options, you've got Anderson, Rice, and then you've got Kobbie Mainoo and Adam Wharton there as well, that I believe will be ahead of him. So it's like, he gets in, really, Garner, if there's major injuries. But I do think he's good, man. I do think he's good, but I don't think he's going to be on the plane with England. You know, I don't think there is. I think the competition there's too much. Who's better at the CDM? Livramento is arse. Trent can't defend. Reece James is injury prone. Yeah, listen. I disagree, man. Livramento is a good player, and the reason why Livramento is gonna go is because he can play right back and left back. So him and Jed Spence, really, they're both gonna offer the same thing. So the problem is that Lewis Hall for me definitely goes. Nico O'Reilly's definitely gonna go. Again, he's a player that can play left back and in midfield. And I think Tuchel's going to go with the multifunctional players. So I think those two are going to go. And that means you've got Spence and Livramento that can both play right and left back. Now, if Reece James keeps himself fit, because he is arguably with Achraf Hakimi, they're the two best right backs in the world for me. But if Reece James goes, then it makes a decision for Tuchel. Does he take both Spence and Livramento, both who can offer the same thing, or does he just take one of them? This is what's going to be the deciding factor for me. But Trent Alexander-Arnold, as I said earlier today, in international football, it's about, like, international football is very much about isolation. And as a defender, Trent's not the greatest defender. On the ball, his delivery, set pieces, etc. are good. But if you've got someone like Reece James who can offer that and is better defensively, then there's really no place for Trent Alexander-Arnold. And what I would say about Trent Alexander-Arnold as well is that the fact that he's not in his 35-man squad, the same with Luke Shaw, it's more or less evident that these guys are not going to be on the plane. So yeah, man, I think Reece James is injury prone, but from what I heard the other day, I don't think his injury is as serious as what was made out to be. I think he's got a hamstring, which I think he's suffered with that a few times, but I think he might be fit. What are we talking about? Football. If you look at the title, man, it will tell you Casemiro new deal at Manchester United. There's been reports saying that United are exploring giving him a new deal, and that's music to my ears because I think we definitely should keep Casemiro. Tuchel been watching our games a lot though, and been liking James Garner, Pickford, and was liking Grealish until the injury. Yeah, listen, Jack Grealish is, in terms of players in the Premier League, yeah, Jack Grealish is one of the best players in the Premier League, no doubt, and he should definitely have been on the plane or be in the squad if he was fit. I think the fact that he's had surgery, again, he's going to miss the World Cup, so which is unfortunate. But Pickford's going to be number one. Kit Kat fingers in goal. But he's good for England, so he'll be in goal. And yeah, as I said, I like James Garner, but I think with James Garner, it depends if Tuchel's going to be brave, because I think the only way James Garner gets in is if Tuchel drops a player really that everyone would be expecting to be in the squad. That's the only way it's going to work. But there's many factors as to why I don't think Garner gets in there. Ronaldo to Chelsea. Yeah, I haven't heard that one, and that's not going to happen either. Yeah, that's not going to happen, man. Guys, come on, make sure we're voting. We've got 10 votes. Would you keep Casemiro next season? 60% saying yes, 40% saying no. Let me know if you would keep Casemiro, or let me know if you would get rid of him at the end of the season. Or do you think there should be any other midfielders other than the obvious ones that we've been looking at that should come into contention? Big Up Fitz says 100% keep Cass and get rid of Ugarte, and we should be focused on Cameron Tonali. My opinion will never change on this. Yeah, listen, bro. That is the dream, man. That is definitely the dream. No doubt. You know what I mean? No doubt, man. That's the dream. I do think Ugarte is going to go anyway, because I think there was talk about Ugarte not being happy with his game time, which again is good news, because that just means that, you know, he's going to be pushing for a move in the summer. And, you know, him along with Mason Mount, they're two players, man, that we definitely have to move on. But again, I just can't wait here till the season's over, because I want to see who we're literally going to be going for, because there's been mixed reports all over. You know, there's been talk about Elliot Anderson. You know, even though I'd rank even though I'd rank other players above Elliot Anderson in terms of Tonali, you know, I think Anderson's nailed on to go to Man City or Liverpool for me. I was looking at that. I think more Man City, you know. Adam Wharton's an interesting one. You know, does Adam Wharton stay in London? And if he does stay in London, you'd have to look at Chelsea. Who knows? Maybe even an Arsenal. You know what I mean? And then you've got... But Baleba, for me, is definitely going United. I think that's the one signing that United have already sorted out for me. I definitely think Baleba's going to be a Man United player in the summer. But as Fitz has said, man, Casemiro and Caminali, partnerships to win the league. Bro, I'm 100% with that, man. I think as a four, you know, and the funny thing is, yeah, like, as I say, on my FIFA career mode, yeah, my midfield is Camavinga, Sandro Tonali, Kobe Mainu, and Carlos Baleba. They're my midfielders. You know what I mean? So imagine if we could get Camavinga, Tonali, and keep Casemiro with Kobe for next season. I think that would be great business, man. Great business. But let's wait and see, innit? Let's wait and see. Guys, what are we making of this Carabao Cup final tomorrow? What are you making of it? Do you reckon who you reckon wins the game tomorrow? City or Arsenal? What's your predictions? Liverpool to win the league. When? How? Why? What, they're going to win the league next season, yeah? Boy, they've got it all to do, man. I don't think they'll be Champions League next season. So, yeah, that might be something that they're going to focus on. Who knows? But, yeah, I think Arne Slot for me is definitely going end of the season. I can't see them keeping him. But, yeah, man, they got beat today by Brighton 2-1. Yeah, man, it's not great. Fitz is saying City 2-1. I'm gonna say 2-0 City. I think City will get an early goal, but a lot of it's gonna depend on how Pep sets his team up. Who's he gonna pick? For me, he has to start Ryan Cherky tomorrow. Ryan Cherky has to start tomorrow. You know, between Semenyo, Doku, and Savinho, I think only one of them can play. And my team tomorrow for Man City, yeah, I would play... Obviously, he's already confirmed that James Trafford's going to be in goal. So Trafford will be in goal. The back four, I would have Matthias Nunes at right back. Left back, I'd play Ait Nouri. Centre-backs, I'd have Kusanov and Mark Guehi. Midfield, Rodri and Nico O'Reilly. Cherky in the 10. Savinho on the right. Marmoush on the left. And then Erling Haaland through the middle. That's a team that I think he should start with. And then you've got the Semenyo, the Doku, the options from them off the bench. You know, I'd like to put Reinders in there, but I think this is a season for Reinders where he has to kind of just feel himself into the league, really. But next season he probably will be better. Foden again. I think Foden will be on the bench. I don't think Foden starts. So yeah, man, that's the team I'm going with. Tony Jones says Arsenal 4-1 against City. I mean, I'm not sure what you're smoking, Tony boy, but 4-1 against City, yeah? I know City haven't been great, but I don't think City get beat 4-1, man. I'm saying 2-0 City. You know what I mean? Again, Arsenal haven't been playing well for them to be thinking they can go and beat City 4-1. So yeah, man, that's an optimistic result, man, but I can't see that happening. No way. No way can I see that happening. What team you think Arsenal put out, Gav? I think he's going to play more or less the same team that played against Bayer Leverkusen. You know, I'd be very surprised if he doesn't play that team. You know, I think, in actual fact, I've got a feeling actually he might do something a bit different. Yeah, I reckon he's going to play David Raya in goal. I'm not sure if Timber's fit. If Timber's not fit, then does he play Ben White or Mosquera? Depending on what City do on the left-hand side, I think City will play. I'd play Marmoush out there, but I reckon he might play Doku there probably. And does he play Mosquera, who can try and match Doku's pace and physicality? But I reckon he plays... I don't know if he plays Ben White, to be honest. Yeah, he probably plays Ben White if Timber's not fit. I think left-back will be Hincapié. Obviously, Gabriel Saliba. Zubamendi, Declan Rice, Eze in the 10, Saka on the right. And then on the left, I think he goes with Trossard. And then I think he plays Kai Havertz in the false 9. And I think the only reason he's going to start Kai Havertz for me is because Kai Havertz is going to drop back into midfield and try and overload the midfield. I think that's what he's going to do. And I think Gyökeres will be on the bench because... The thing what I think Arteta might be thinking is if he starts Gyökeres, he's going to have one less player in the midfield because, again, Havertz is a natural number 10 and Havertz likes to drop in midfield and create the overload. So I think if Gyökeres plays and doesn't hold the ball up, Arteta might look at that as, you know, his team getting done in midfield. So I think that's why Havertz starts. But, Timber is fit to play, yeah? Okay, so if Timber's fit, then that means he's going to play Timber, Hincapié, Saliba, Gabriel, which is probably their best defence. And then, yeah, the midfield of Zubamendi, Rice, and Camavinga, and Eze. And I think he plays Saka, Trossard, and Havertz. Yeah, I think that's what he does. But yeah, we are going to do a live watch-along, guys, tomorrow. So if you guys want to come through, 4:15 it starts, the live watch-along. Obviously, for a 4:30 kickoff, we will be live, myself and Fitz. So, yeah, make sure you guys come through, man, and support the channel. And it'd be a very lively watching on, man, because, as I said, man, I think this is a game that, for me, is gonna tell what's gonna go on to the end of the season, man, in the league and the Champions League for Arsenal. I think it's that significant, really, you know, but... We'll have to wait and see what happens, innit? But 4-1, yeah, I think 4-1 is a hefty result, man. I think if Arsenal was to win this game, I'm looking at them winning it by the odd goal. But I think City are gonna have something for them tomorrow because City know that man, that they're gonna have to shake up this season because they've been poor and their last 4 games, you know, 2 draws. And 2 losses. Both losses to Real Madrid. 2 draws against Nottingham Forest and West Ham. So they're going to have to show up, you know. I have a feeling we are going to play Kepa. You know what? I forgot about that. The reason why I don't think he plays Kepa, yeah, because I think Arteta knows how important this game is. And I think Arteta needs to go in there and play in his eyes his strongest team. And I think if it's a choice between David Raya and Kepa, I think he plays David Raya, knowing that he rates David Raya higher than Kepa, and it's your first choice keeper anyway. So, and it's a final. because this is a game for me that is gonna set the precedents for the rest of the season. It's that big, and I don't think Arteta's gonna risk playing Kepa rather than playing his first choice keeper. So yeah, I mean, if Kepa has started every cup game, then by right, yeah, as I said, he should play. But I don't think Arteta is going to look at it like that. I think Arteta is going to play what he deems is his strongest team because it's a trophy up for grabs. And I know Pep's playing Trafford, you know, but Pep better hope that works because really and truly, it's a final, man, and you just better off just playing your best keeper. I know it's harsh, but you know, Arsenal are in the Champions League still as well. So, you know, they're the one team out of both teams that can afford to play, you know, a backup keeper in a sense. But the fact that it's a trophy and, you know, Arteta has been struggling for trophies since he's come to the club, you know, he might just be a bit ruthless and say, look, David Raya, you're playing, which means Kepa's on the bench. Who knows? But, yeah, man, looking forward to that game tomorrow. It's going to be a good game. Big up to Foxy Danny. Big up yourself. Big up. I'm guessing you must be in tears today, Foxy Danny. Your team, Liverpool, getting smoked yet again. Ekatike coming off injured as well. Yeah, man, it's not looking good for Liverpool, I must say. It's not looking good. But, yeah, man, obviously, United's result yesterday, really, you know, it didn't really make that much of a difference in the end because both Chelsea and Liverpool both got beat. So it turns out, man, that draw might actually be a valuable point. Who would have thought that? So, yeah, man, crazy. The league is over for City. All City have to play for is the 2 cups. I disagree with that, Tony. I disagree with that, man, because I would have agreed with you, yeah, if City didn't have to play you guys and didn't have to play and didn't had the game in hand. I know City have got the tougher run in, yeah, but I'm looking at this, yeah. City are working with 3 points because I do think City beat Arsenal in both the Carabao Cup and the league game as well. So the thing with City now, though, they're having to rely on Arsenal getting beat and then them winning all their games. So really, it's last chance saloon for them. But the fact they've got the game in hand and the fact that, you know, they've got to play Arsenal, it's kind of still in a bit in their hands as well, you know. Big up to Clockenders, says we play Bournemouth before they kick off, Gav. So make that gap 12. I hear it, man. I hear it, but I think if we're being serious, Clockenders, yeah, if you guys don't win this Carabao Cup, all of a sudden that Bournemouth game is a bit different because obviously it's international break after this game. And then you guys are going to have to wait to get back into action. And it's going to be an FA Cup game. So, yeah, listen. By the time that Bournemouth game comes about, who knows what state you guys will be in. You know, who have you guys got in the FA Cup, actually? I forgot. Who have you guys got? I think you're away as well. I can't remember who you're playing. Oh, you guys got Southampton. Okay, so Southampton away. And again, Southampton are actually in good form. You know, they're actually doing well in the league. So that's not going to be an easy game. Now, the thing is as well, yeah, this is why it's going to be interesting, yeah, because Arteta changed his team against Mansfield, yeah, and let's face it, yeah, it took Eze to come onto the pitch for them to win the game. Now, is Arteta, knowing that he's going to be in Champions League as well, is he going to play a strong team against Southampton, knowing that there's a Champions League game around the corner? You know, so this is where the squad now is going to be tested, because if he plays a second string team against Southampton, you know, they could come unstuck. I'm telling you. So this is where it gets interesting. You know. And as Fitz has said, look, I don't think City have a tougher run of games, especially the additional Champions League games to rotate around. I think the fact that City are out of the Champions League, it now means that they can just fully focus on the league for me. I think the Cups take care of themselves. I mean, they got Liverpool in the FA Cup at home, which is going to be a tough game. But you never know. Liverpool might even take their eye off that to focus on getting in Champions League. And again, City are at home as well. And they've beat Liverpool twice this season already. And again, Carabao Cup finals tomorrow. So City can fully focus on the league. Whereas Arsenal, you know, they've got FA Cup, they've got Champions League and the league. And I don't think Arsenal play like literally their best team in every game coming. I don't. And again, Arsenal have done, you would have to say, relatively well, because I actually thought they'll be picking up a few injuries. There'll be a couple of losses in there as well in their running. But if you look at the Bayer Leverkusen game, they drew that and then won the home leg. You know, I think Timber got an injury, but I think he's back now. The Everton game, as we know, you know, really should have been a draw if it wasn't for Pickford. But they won that game. So, yeah, they've got, obviously, Carabao Cup tomorrow. But this could be the game that I believe that it could all change. The thing is that Arsenal don't lose many games. We only lost 3 games all season. I hear it. Yeah, but as I said, I think losing and drawing, you know, I think a draw looks a lot better because you can still keep that tag of saying we didn't get beat. But in the long run, you know, just drawing games ain't really positive if the other team is winning. And as I said, Arsenal are in the driving seat now when it comes to the league. But if Arsenal was to draw against Bournemouth, let's say, and then City win their game in hand. I mean, City's next league game is Chelsea away. And we all know Chelsea have more or less checked out now as well. So if City keep winning their games and they beat Arsenal and win their game in hand and Arsenal draw, again, the pressure's going to be there. Because I think Arsenal get beat by a team that many would expect them to beat. You know, because that Everton game really should have been a draw if it wasn't for Kit Kat Fingers Jordan Pickford. Let's be honest, you know. Big up to Saving for Palestine says, hello, Gav. I think / hope Bruno will stay for Man United because he's been solid, but I know you don't rate him. Bro, so if you know I don't rate him, man, why'd you keep asking me? Why'd you keep asking me if you know I don't rate him? Listen, I know you rate Bruno, man, and I'm happy for you. But listen, I'm not going to change my mind, yeah? I don't care how many goals he scores. I've already told you guys about the assist record. He's got 7 from open play, which is 1 less than Ryan Cherky. And Ryan Cherky doesn't play week in, week out. Bruno plays literally every minute of every game. He's on every set piece. On paper, 16 assists looks great, yeah? But then when you actually do your homework and you see that it's got 7 from open play, Ryan Cherky's on 8 from open play. And he's not played nowhere near the minutes that Bruno Fernandes has played. Yeah? So my thing is, yeah, as I said, do we keep Bruno to the detriment of other players? I'm not for that. You know, I'd much prefer to see other players shining. Ahmad's not going through a great time. And I believe because Ahmad needs to be playing more central to get more involved in the game. You know, Cunha, for me, has had to adapt to becoming the left winger when really he should be playing as a 10. You know, Xerxes can play there. Kobe can play there. So for me personally, I would much rather get 4 players firing, you know, if it meant, you know, moving on Bruno Fernandes and revamping that midfield. Because surely that should be the target for Manchester United. Because I've seen Bruno for 7 years and, you know, he's one of them players that he does divide opinion. But whenever you ask someone, why do you rate Bruno? All they revert to is his numbers. And that should never be the case for me, you know. So, as I said, end of the season, there's a decision to make. We need to move him on. It's that simple. Nah, listen, saying past time. My mind's not going to change, man. It's not going to change. I know you like Bruno Fernandes, you know. I know you rate him highly. I don't, man. And it's just that simple. But, yeah, listen, let's just see what happens. Listen, if Bruno's scoring goals or is playing well and it helps us get Champions League, that's what I want, of course. But I'm not here for no Bruno loving or nothing like that, because it's quite simple to me. He needs to go at the end of the season, you know, and I'd argue that with anyone. If Bergkamp puts that pen away, it ain't flawless. Yeah, but clock enders, bro. We can do all these ifs and buts, man. The facts are he missed the pen. Schmeichel saved it. Giggs went on a run. We won. End of story. It is what it is. Gav, you support Man U? Yeah. Man United supporter, of course. Man United supporter, and I also like Barcelona as well. I've liked Barcelona for years, man. From the days of Javier Saviola, Rivaldo, Patrick Kluivert. You know, if you know, you know, man. If you know, you know. And obviously to the present day. Mate, you live with ifs and buts when it comes to Arsenal. Nah, not really, man. You was the one that was telling me that you was going to smoke us at Emirates. And look what happened. We beat you guys 3-2. And we beat you comfortably as well. So listen, let's not do that, man. I haven't forgot. Because I remember you, Mamba, Lumi Rain, you guys were saying that you guys are going to beat us, man, in the when we come and face you. And look what happened. Listen, Clock Enders is rattled. He's rattled. He's rattled. Gav, I told Mbuemo to sub to you. I met him, but he just laughed. Big up to Palestine, man. What did you expect Mbuemo to do, though? Did you think he's going to say, oh, yeah, I'll sub to GavGoesIn? Of course. As if he's going to say that. Come on. Come on, man. What I wanted you to tell Mbuemo for me, yeah, is to be less careless with the ball. That's what I wish you would have told him. Be less careless with the ball, you know, retain the ball, you know, and stop going for these pointless shots all the time. You know what I mean? That's what you should have told him. How can you want City to win tomorrow? I find that strange. Tony, bro, I know it's your first time in there, man, but it's not strange. I'll tell you why, yeah? Although I'm a Man United fan, yeah, I'm a student of football. You know, I've got years of experience from watching, playing, and coaching. And for me, personally, I just like to see genuinely good football. The Premier League's been horrible. You know, I know Arsenal are top, but the Premier League's been horrible football this season. And the reason why, again, I'd like to see City win tomorrow is purely because of the Arsenal lot that come into the chat. You know, obviously, all the mods can tell you from the get-go, these guys have been doing the most talking. So that is why I'm Man City tomorrow. Obviously, if it was Man United in there, you know, Man United, Man City, let's say, then obviously it'd be Man United all day long. But these Arsenal fans have been chatting the whole season. They were even chatting when we were due to play them. You know, so my thing is, yeah, my thing is, we just need to be looking at this game tomorrow as a one-off, hoping that City can win, because Clockenders is in the chat now. Mamba's not in there at the moment. Lumi Rain's not in at the moment. These guys have been talking the whole season, you know. So, as I said, yeah, we'll have to just wait and see. But, yeah, man, Man United fan, of course, but there's no way I want Arsenal to win tomorrow. Hey, Palestine, you're killing me, man. You're killing me. You're killing me, man. Big up yourself, though, anyway. I'd honestly prefer the game goes 0-0 with endless penalties until the ref says, fuck it, I'll just hold the trophy for a year, lads. If I'm being honest. But it's just not likely. Yeah, Fitz, I hear that, man. I hear that. For me, yeah, listen, I know, obviously, Fitz, for you is different because, obviously, you're in Manny, you know what I mean? So, I understand that your hatred for Man City is different to mine. Obviously, I'm nowhere near there. But for me, I couldn't like if Man City beat Arsenal, it's only because the fan base, you know what I mean? Because I only dislike Arsenal because of the fan base. The fans just talk way too much, and they have been. But I hear your thing really, but I just can't have Arsenal winning tomorrow because the fan base are just they're annoying, and they'll be even more annoying if they was to win. So that's where it comes from. Big up to Daniel Carty. Big up yourself. I think Arsenal will win 2-1. Yeah, listen, there's all different kind of predictions. You know, I think the first goal is going to be key, and if City get the first goal, they'll win the game. They'll win the game. I think they'll get an early goal, and I think they'll get a later goal as well. But the first goal will be key. 100% will be key. We aren't all twats, lol. Well, most of you, man. Most of you are. You know what I mean? It's just a chat that I can't understand. If Arsenal were winning title after title, yeah, every season, I'll be like, I can't even blame them for talking. But you guys ain't won in how long, and your fan base is just the loudest for no reason. You know what I mean? For no reason. The quad is on if Arsenal win tomorrow. Yeah, but Tony, these guys can't even win a single. So what makes you think the quad's on? You know what I mean? I'm telling you, man. Like, I'm still sticking with what I'm saying. I think the only thing Arsenal win this season is an FA Cup. But that means they've got to navigate past Southampton. It's years of banter that's done it. I hear it, man. I hear it. But normally if you're getting bantered, man, like if you are winning trophies, man, or if you're not winning trophies, then at least be humble. But you guys talk like, you know, that you guys just smoke everyone. And it's, you know, me personally, you guys are top because it's been, not because you guys have been great, but it's just because it's been a shit season. The quality's been so low. Yeah. Some of them talk too much, like 85% of them. That's where the frustration comes from. You know, their fans just keep talking. So Arsenal never bottled the past 3 seasons. We lost to better teams. Boy, I never said you bottled the last 3 seasons, but yeah, listen, you haven't really been the better team this season. I'll just say you've been the most consistent team. But it's been a poor season, really. But as I said, man, you know, you guys are in the ascendancy at the moment. So Jack supports Sheffield United. Listen, Jack, what's happened to Sheffield United? I swear they're struggling at the moment. You know, you guys had Ilham and NDI, if you remember as well, man. That's someone that we should be signing at the end of the season. What a player he is. You know what I mean? It ain't just because the quality has been too low. We only lost 3 games, which is a title-winning team. Yeah, but again, you guys losing only 3 games, that doesn't necessarily mean that you guys have been that good. Your team is set up to be defensive. You know what I mean? And the Premier League season this season has been poor. So you losing 3 games this season it's not a thing to say that Arsenal have been that good. I'd more look at that these other teams have been that poor. Not because Arsenal made them look that good, made them look poor. So Arsenal are doing what they're doing, you know what I mean? And again, it's not about hating on what they're doing. Like, they've been the most consistent team, and you have to respect it. But as I said to you, I'm not looking at Arsenal as a team that they've just blown everyone away. They haven't. That Everton game last week, that was just a fuck up from Jordan Pickford. I'd argue that of anyone. Pickford messed up, and then if Pickford doesn't mess up, the Max Dowman goal never happens because there's someone in goal, and their team wouldn't have committed forward, But Arsenal are getting over the line, man. That's what I will say, and you have to respect it in a sense. But again, the fact that City still have to play them, and the fact that they've got the game in hand, this is what it's going to come down to for me. Plus, most Premier League teams play a low block against Arsenal. That's a fact. Even City stuck another man behind the ball when we drew one-on-one first game. And again, I disagree with that, Tony, yeah? Because most teams don't play a low block against Arsenal. Like, Arsenal don't have the kind of players, yeah, that Arsenal haven't got special players for them to be up against low blocks each and every week. That's not true. That ain't true. Like, if you look at it like this year, notoriously, the lesser teams will play a low block against the better teams because they know that they're going to be on the back foot. But to say that Arsenal play up against low blocks most of the time, that ain't true. That ain't true. That's definitely not true. I think how Arsenal set up here, they're very defensive. They don't really give away too much space. They've got Declan Rice and Zubimendi in the midfield that act as a shield for Gabriel and Saliba. And again, not taking nothing away from Gabriel and Saliba, yeah, but they're very much protected by those two. And it probably makes them look a lot better than what they are. What I want to see from how you will see how Gabriel and Saliba are, yeah, is if Arsenal have to go and chase a game. Because there's gonna be gaps that are left. If Arsenal are chasing the game, that's when you can see how good of a defender Gabriel and Saliba are. But at the moment, the way that Arsenal set up, they're protected by Zubimendi and by Declan Rice's legs. So, again, man, yeah, this whole low block that Arsenal play against isn't true, man. It's definitely not true. Let's not forget that Arsenal have only conceded 3+ goals in the past 27 months in all comps, which is incredible. It is. It's a very good record, yeah? But as I said, it's not really a surprise when you guys set up to be defensive. If you're setting up defensively, yeah, we shouldn't really be surprised as to Arsenal's defensive work. But if you're set up well defensively, yeah, it's gonna take away from other parts of the pitch. So you're doing well defensively, but attacking-wise, you're poor. Because you've got Bukayo Saka, who's got 6 league goals. I think Gyökeres has 11. And Trossard and Martinelli between them. How many have they got? 2 or 3? So again, your defense is doing good, but your attack's poor. That's what you have to look at, because something has to give. If you've got a good attack, it usually might mean that your defense ain't as good. You know, I'm not saying that always happens, because there's obviously got to be a balance. But Arsenal obviously have a good defence, but their attack is poor. That's what it is. I don't think Pickford messed up. It was an incredible cross from Dowman. Nah, listen, it was a decent cross, but Pickford messed up. If you don't think Pickford messed up, then I'm sorry, man. I'm not sure what you was watching there, because if you actually watch what happens, yeah, Pickford didn't even need to come out of the goal. But if you check what he did, yeah, he come out of the goal, and it's just like he had a brain freeze, and then the ball ricocheted off of Hincapié into the path of Gyökeres. That's a goalkeeper mistake. You know, there's even calls for Pickford. Did Pickford do that on purpose? Because that didn't make no sense. He had no right to come out, really. He came out and completely missed the ball. And then, obviously, it's a tap-in for Gyökeres. The Max Dowman goal was great ability from Max Dowman to sidestep, I think it might have been Shane O'Brien. But let's face it. That goal never happens if Pickford's in goal and their defence doesn't commit forward. I think everyone knows that anyway. Arsenal have learned how to win ugly when others can't. Will be more exciting next season when Dowman is a regular starter and we buy a more creative striker. You know what? I'm glad you've come out with this, yeah? What I would say is that Arsenal have learned to win ugly because they're an ugly team. So that's not really a surprise. They're a very ugly team. You know, corners galore. The majority of their goals are coming from corners. So, as I said, man, they have learned to win ugly. In terms of Max Dowman, yeah? Now, this is why this is interesting, because I mentioned this before. Max Dowman, for me, should be starting for Arsenal because in terms of talent, yeah, he's one of their most talented players, if not their most talented players. The problem you guys have, yeah, is that for Max Dowman to start, the two places where he plays, in the 10 or on the right. You've got Bukayo Saka, who's your vice-captain and your highest-paid player on 300 grand a week. Madueke costs 60 million, yeah? That's already two players that play where Dowman plays who have to take priority. Not to mention, you've got your captain in Martin Odegaard. What happens to him, yeah? Who plays in central midfield as an 8/10. Eberechi Eze, you know, costs, what, 60 million? He plays in the 10. That's already four players, yeah, that Max Dowman has to vie with getting a place for. Not to mention, you've got on the left-hand side, where I know he's not going to play, you've got Trossard, who signed a new contract, Martinelli, who's on 180. You know, what's going to happen to Ethan Nwaneri as well? So to say that Dowman's going to start regularly, for me, he should be, but there's many factors as to why that can't really happen at the moment. That needs to be taken into account. You know, creative striker. Again, you spent 60 mil on Gyökeres. Kai Havertz is on what? 280 a week. Gabriel Jesus is on about 265. So how are you going to get this creative striker in when you've got three guys, two of them that are on big money, and the other cost 60 mil. So that means you're going to get rid of Gabriel Jesus, yeah? And then keep Havertz and Gyökeres to bring in a creative striker. I mean, it sounds fantasy, but it's not realistic. So if we're being realistic here, the only position that Arsenal can improve on, you would say, is on the left-hand side, left wing. But that means you've got to get rid of Martinelli because he's on 180, or remove Trossard, who signed a new contract. But do I see Arsenal going in the market and getting another forward player? It's unlikely unless someone leaves. Do I see Dowman being a regular starter next season? He probably should be with his talent, but I don't think he will be. Because let's face it, if you want to start Dowman, it means Bukayo Saka has to be on the bench. And that's not going to happen because he just signed a new contract. So these are the things that people don't take into account. You know? Foxy Danny's saying City to beat Arsenal 3-2. I hear it. 3-2, you know. Yeah, that'd be mad. Oh, here we go. Julian Alvarez. You're not gonna get Julian Alvarez, man. That's nonsense. You're not getting Julian Alvarez. Where's that come from? Julian Alvarez is gonna cost 100 million. And Julian Alvarez, put it this way. I'll tell you why Alvarez is not gonna go to Arsenal, yeah? Because if Julian Alvarez was to leave Atletico and come back to England, you're looking at 100 million. City sold him for about 80 million to Atletico in the first place, yeah? So if he comes back to England, Atletico are going to want to make a profit off Julian Alvarez. because, again, he's arguably their best player now. So they're not going to sell him for the same amount that they bought him for. So he's going to cost 100 million plus. Not to mention, yeah, not to mention Barcelona are looking at him. And he'll go to Barcelona ahead of going to Arsenal. Because he's already playing in Spain. You know, he hasn't got to relocate his family, nothing like that. And if he was to go to Barcelona, he'd probably go to Barcelona for less than what Atletico Madrid would sell him to Arsenal for. That's a fact. So you're not going to get Alvarez. That's just fantasy. And yeah, Dalman's a good player, but Dalman, you have to be realistic. How's Dalman going to figure in the team with what they've got already? I wouldn't call us an ugly team. We have a lot of decent attacking players. It's the style of play that is the issue. Boy, but that's the problem. You have decent attacking players. You just said it. There you go, man. You said it yourself. You have decent attacking players. Decent don't win you Champions Leagues. If I look at Arsenal's starting 11 right now, your most talented player is Eberechi Eze. And Eze's a hot and cold player. So that's what I'm trying to tell you, man. Like, you guys haven't won games because you are just an outstanding team. Your defensive setup is what wins you games. You know, the Eze goal was a class strike, but that was a mistake from... If you look at the goal, how it got scored, you know, Bayer Leverkusen were pissing around in midfield. Then the ball dropped to Eze. He had all that time. Great finish. Yeah. Nah, behave. A 16-year-old is not the most talented player at Arsenal. Bro, just because he's 16, that doesn't mean he cannot be the most talented. Like, players peak at different ages. If you look at Max Dalman's base level of ability, he's your most talented player. He's the most talented player for me, along with Eberechi Eze. He is. The age doesn't come into it. That makes no sense. So you're saying because he's 16, he can't be the most talented? That make no sense. Lamine Yamal is at Barcelona at 18 years of age. Him and Pedri are the most talented players at Barcelona. He's one of the youngest. He's the youngest in the first team. So that doesn't make any sense. I'd love to see Liverpool at the top of the table, but doesn't seem it will happen. Foxy Danny. Yeah, listen, that's not going to happen. Next season, you guys, 1 game a week. It could happen, but not right now. But this Alvarez to Arsenal is a complete lie. It's a complete lie. Alvarez is not going to Arsenal. I don't know where that's come from. He's not going to Arsenal. Honestly, it sounds like you're just an Arsenal hater. Nah, man, I'm not an Arsenal hater. I just tell the truth. And again, people don't like hearing the truth. People like to be lied to. Because when you're telling me that you're going to get Julian Alvarez, I'm telling you this now. You're not getting Julian Alvarez. It's not going to happen. Like, I can tell you now, you're not going to get Julian Alvarez. The Alvarez link is just to get the Arsenal fans excited. But there's many reasons why Alvarez won't go there. Because do you think Arsenal spend 100 million on an attacker this summer? I don't think they do. And not to mention, he's been linked with Barcelona as the replacement for Lewandowski as a false 9. And I guarantee you now, if you know your players, yeah, South Americans, their dream is to play for Barcelona, Real Madrid. Where's Julian Alvarez from? Argentina. If he's got the chance to go and play for a team of his idol Messi, why is he going to go and choose Arsenal? Like, these things are just common sense. So it's not about hating on Arsenal. It's just common sense, man. You know, I know you're an Arsenal fan and you're getting a bit carried away, but to say you guys are going to get Julian Alvarez and, you know, you guys play up against low blocks every week, it's just simply not true, man. You know? Just simply not true. Big up to Babs One Diva for becoming a visionary for 5 months. Big up yourself. What are the chances for Man United, Gav? I mean, the draw yesterday was frustrating, but in hindsight now, you look at the fact that that Liverpool lost to Brighton today. Chelsea got battered by Everton. That point now is a good point. And I still say we get Champions League football. Again, Aston Villa are playing tomorrow at home against West Ham, I think. You know, they need to win that game. But yeah, I'm still confident of us getting Champions League even after yesterday's game. So yeah, I think we definitely are doing well. Alvarez talks happening. It's a lie. Where's the sources, clock enders? Put the source in. Are you Alvarez's agent? I'm not Alvarez's agent, but what I have on my side is common sense. Common sense is not common. You know what I mean? So when you're telling me that Alvarez is going to Arsenal, I know you've got that from somewhere because you're excited. It's not true. Show me where Alvarez is in talks with Arsenal. Put the sources in. We can't just keep saying stuff for the sake of it. Put the sources in. Big up to Foxy Danny with the super chat. With the super sticker, sorry. Big up. Big up to Babs One Diva with the super sticker. Big up, Babs One Diva. Much appreciated. Big up yourself. Big up to Ian from Australia, man. Big up yourself. It's an assumption, not a fact. You can't speak for Alvarez. I'm not speaking for Alvarez. I'm just telling you through common sense, yeah, that he's not going to go to Arsenal. Because you're saying to me that Arsenal are in talks. Show me where they're in talks. That's what I'm asking. Because you're stating that they're in talks. So you're stating a fact, and now you're changing it to say that you're saying it's an assumption. Show me where they're in talks. That's what I'm asking for. You know, let's see. Let's see if you put it in the chat. How did Porto win the Champions League then? Don't know what Porto's got to do with this, but yeah. Big up to 316, man. Let's stick on topic, man. You told me that Alvarez is in talks with Arsenal. All I'm asking for is you to show us the facts. Yeah? Cool. Guys, yeah, make sure we're smashing the likes, guys, if you're in here as well. Make sure you smash the like. Make sure you sub to the channel as well. Come on, City on pens. Yeah, Darren, man, I'm with you. We need to make sure City win this so clock enders can be humbled after this game, man. Yeah, 316, man. I'm waiting for you to put in the chat, man. Where does it say that Arsenal guys? Has anyone got any evidence that Alvarez is in talks with Arsenal? Can anyone provide that? I'll be 1 minute, guys. Someone put in the chat, man, if you can, that Alvarez is in talks with Arsenal. Give me 1 minute. Guys, anyone got the Julian Alvarez Julian Alvarez is in a meeting with Arsenal. Has anyone got that? Make sure you throw that in the chat, guys, please, man. I wanna read this. Because if Alvarez is in talks with Arsenal, then I'll take it back. But somehow, I don't think I will be, because I just know it's not true. And if it was true, then there will be evidence. But as usual, I think I think 316 is gone. I think he's gone out the chat. Oh, he's there. No one cares about Man United anymore. Yeah. I'm still waiting for you to send over, man. Send over the facts that Alvarez is in talks with Arsenal. Please send us that. Don't worry about Man United, man. Just send the facts over. Because I like it when people do this. They come out with nonsense, and then when it's time to show and prove, there's no proof. In actual fact, I'll make it easier for you. I'm going to check it right now. I'm going to check right now. I'm literally going to type it in. Is Julian Alvarez in talks with Arsenal? Let's check. So it says here, Arsenal are actively exploring, the main word being exploring, a move for Atletico Madrid forward Julian Alvarez, though they face stiff competition from Barcelona. While no official transfer has been completed, several key developments have emerged. So again, they're interested in Julian Alvarez, which, yeah, but there's nothing saying they're in talks with him. And that's what I'm trying to tell you. There's no talks going on. So, yeah, exactly what I thought. There's no talks. There's no talks. And not to mention as well, again, do you actually think Julian Alvarez is going to choose going to Arsenal over staying in Spain for Barcelona? Just saying. You know? Again, if Arsenal was to get Julian Alvarez, you'd have to say, do you know what? They've pulled that one out the bag, even though it's not realistic. But the only way for Arsenal to get a player like that, it's going to mean they've got to sell Gabriel Jesus or Kai Havertz. Now, we know that Arteta likes Kai Havertz. So you're looking at Gabriel Jesus. But who's going to take on Gabriel Jesus' 265 grand a week contract? Again, man, it's one of them things, isn't it? Yeah, listen, Julian Alvarez is going to have suitors after him. He is. He's a very good player, man. But if we're being honest with you, yeah, the reason why Barca are looking at him is because the striker market's dead. And Julian Alvarez is not a natural striker. He's more of a false nine come number 10. But the way Barca play, he'll fit in there. So that's why I think he's definitely going to be Barcelona's main target for that position for me. We're keeping Jesus as ball boy. Boy, he'd be the most expensive ball boy I've seen. 265 grand a week. I mean, when I was a ball boy, I wasn't getting paid that, man. But, yeah, that's crazy, man, to be a ball boy, you know. Jesus will go Brazil. Yeah, you know what, Clockenders? I think that might be a possibility. I think Gabriel Jesus' next move, yeah, I'll be very surprised if it's not back to Brazil or in Saudi. To be honest, peeps, Man City should win this Premier League. They have been consistent throughout. I don't think they've been that consistent personally. I think Arsenal have been the most consistent in terms of just getting results and not playing well. But as I said, City have winners in their team. They have that kind of pedigree. But I wouldn't say they've been the most consistent. But you have to say that City have the game in hand. You know, they have that they play Arsenal as well. You know, they've got it all to do. Arsenal are definitely the favourites right now, but a lot can change, innit? Jesus could end up at Barca to replace Lewandowski. Fitz, bro, that would be the worst thing they do, man. That would be the worst thing they do. Go and get Gabriel Jesus to replace Lewandowski. That's crazy. So what? What are you trying to say then? What? Barca would get Gabriel Jesus to replace Lewandowski and then give Arsenal a free run at getting Julian Alvarez. Boy, imagine that. Imagine that. Look at my PFP. What's that? Techie Baller edits. Look at my PFP. What's PFP? Clockenders is on one tonight, boy. I think you'll be on the bottle tomorrow, Clockenders, man. You know, come 4:30, man. I think you'll be on the bottle. Trust me, Kane is moving to City. No way. Harry Kane's not going Man City, man. I don't know where that's come from. What how and why? You know what I mean? How are they gonna get Harry Kane? How? You know what I mean? What you think they're gonna do a swap deal with Kane and Haaland? Is that what it is? Him and Haaland will be goated. Nah, that's not gonna happen, man. Not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. It's not gonna happen. Harry Kane's next move, yeah. If he was to come back to the Premier League, you're looking at probably going back to Tottenham. That's the only realistic thing, because he can't go Man City because Haaland's there on the death row contract, and it's just not gonna work. Chelsea again, the Tottenham thing. The same with Arsenal. Man United are not gonna go and sign Harry Kane. Liverpool, no. So yeah, Harry Kane's a weird one. It's a weird one. You know, if I'm Harry Kane, he's better off just staying in Germany. Really, just doing it from Bayern Munich, winning as much as he can. Haaland in the box, Kane dropping off, City would be invincible. I hear it, but it's not realistic, man. Let's be honest. I'm guessing you're a Man City fan, though, anyway. I don't drink, I fly, Clockenders. I hear it, man. I hear it. Big up to English Maths Debater says, United fan here. Just wanted to say to any Liverpool fan here, brighten up and remember we need to be kind to one another. Big up, man. Big up. Listen, Danny Welbeck, that's all I'm going to say. Former United player, smoking out Liverpool. Yeah, listen, had to be Danny Welbeck. And again, Danny Welbeck reminding Thomas Tuchel that he should have been included in that 35-man squad. You know, Danny Welbeck's underrated, man. 2 goals today. Don't underestimate Berta. Arsenal signings will depend on what we win this season. 316. Who do you think Arsenal sign in the summer? So let's say you guys are going to be Champions League next season, yeah? Who do you think Arsenal sign in the summer? Who's your targets? Techie Baller says, though you got to think that Kane is going to go for Shearer's records. I hear it, yeah, but I think the fact that Harry Kane's 32, what's he, 32, 33 now? I think Harry Kane breaking Shearer's record, I think that time's passed. And let's face it, yeah. Harry Kane hasn't got to break Alan Shearer's record to be better than Shearer. Kane's better than Shearer, he is. You know what I mean? Kane's for me is England's. I think Kane's England's best. Is Kane's most. I think Kane is England's best striker of all time for me. He's definitely there, man, no doubt. But I think the thing, him breaking Shearer's record, that time's passed. I think, because if Kane was to come back to the Premier League, I think Kane will probably get injured, you know, a bit more as well. So yeah, I don't see that happening, man. What a joke is how Solanke's in, but he's not. Yeah, I agree. I agree. But Thomas Tuchel, I don't really know what he's looking at. Because he obviously likes Solanke, but Solanke got the call up after being injured. I know he's got a couple of goals, but Welbeck's the top goal scoring English player in the Premier League. And he's nowhere to be seen. It's crazy, man, to be fair. It is crazy. So, Andrew Cole. So, a left winger and a forward, yeah? Okay. I think it depends on what we win this season. It will win. If we win a lot, Arteta will be less inclined to sign new players. We definitely need a more consistent and creative striker. But again, 316, what I would say, yeah, let's say hypothetically, yeah, Arsenal win the league. How you get better is by going again, signing real players. So if you're saying if Arsenal win the league, Arteta might look at it as he doesn't really want to rock the boat and get new signings in. That's the quickest way to going backwards. When you're in the ascendancy and you're winning stuff, you have to go and sign players to go and take you on again. That's how it works. You don't just say, "Oh, we've won the league. We can just relax now," because that's how you. Obviously you won't improve. So, yeah, man. Do you think that Bernardo Silva is going to move to Saudi or stay at City? Yeah, I think Bernardo Silva's off. Bernardo Silva's off in the summer, man. And to be fair, he has to be off because the Bernardo Silva that I remember, you know, I watched Bernardo Silva when Bernardo Silva was at Monaco before he went to City. Yeah. And Pep really has made him a jack of all trades. He's someone that can play in midfield, in the 10, on the right. And he's become a workhorse. Like, Bernardo Silva was a technician. I look at him now, and he's just a workhorse. You know, and I think the fact that he's getting on a bit now, I think this is his last season at City. You know, this is definitely his last season. And to be fair, it needs to be anyway. It does need to be. So I would only buy one player, Dembele. I think 316, man. I think you're living in fantasy. I mean, Dembele's never coming to Arsenal. That's a fact. But is that your dream signing, or is that something that you think is realistic that could happen? Crazy. Right, guys, I'm gonna wrap it up in about 5 minutes. But remember, we are gonna be live tomorrow for the watch along. Myself and Fitz at 4:15 for the 4:30 kickoff. So yeah, yeah, make sure you guys come through tomorrow for the live watch along. Again, if there's any Arsenal fans and you want to jump onto the watch along, just let me know. But it's gonna be a good one anyway. So yeah. Pep wants to leave, bro. He just needs to go out on a win. Dembele would be mad. Can't see it myself. What do you think of Pep staying or leaving? It's a hard one, really, because I think if Pep wins the league, he can go out on a high. If he doesn't, then does he think to himself, I've got to stay for another season to go out on a high? So I don't really know what's happening with Pep. I don't really know. I don't really know, man. I can't really answer that. Who cares? City are trash. Good. Well, let's hope they're not trash tomorrow, man, because we need them to beat Arsenal, man. I ain't gonna lie. I'm not gonna lie. I'm looking forward to seeing some Arsenal tears tomorrow, man, because these guys chat way too much. Way too much. So let's see what happens. Yeah, Doctor, who do you support, bro? And please don't say Arsenal, please. Guys, make sure you're voting as well if you haven't voted already. Would you keep Casemiro next season? 69% say yes, 31% are saying no. So yeah, it's quite unanimous really. So yeah, make sure you're voting. Let's see where we're going with this. And yeah, make sure, guys, you are smashing the like button and you are subbing to the channel if you're new in here as well. Yeah, big up to Doctor, man. Big up yourself. So I agree, Manchester United, within 2 years, we're coming. Bro, listen, I'm telling you this now, yeah? If we get our midfield sorted in the summer, yeah, we get 2 to 3 top quality midfielders, Camavinga, Tonali, Baleba, for argument's sake. I'm saying you this now. We are going for this title next season. That is how confident I am. Because I look at the players we have already. Ahmad, Cunha, Joshua Zirkzee, Sesko, Kobe. If Casemiro stays, you know, you've got the Litz, obviously, hopefully over his injuries, Dorgu, you know, and if we go and get the midfielders, Lenny Yoro as well, I like Heaven, Lamens in goal. We go and sort the midfield, man. I'm looking at a title charge next season. I think the way this league is poor. And I think, you know, we're a midfield away from us really challenging. You know, and again, the manager, if it's Carrick, you know, if it's not Carrick, I don't think we're far away, man. I'm that confident. Yeah, man, title, why not? Why not? I mean, if you guys are going for the title, why can't we? You're about 20 points off. Yeah, but bro, you're not factoring in the case. You're not looking at the facts here that we had Ruben Amorim. Look at who's the most informed team in the Premier League right now. Look at the team that beat you guys at the Emirates. So you can do all this 20 points off all you want, but the facts are the facts. And the facts are, when we last played you, we beat you. And we beat you comfortably. Who do you support? Man United. Man United, my guy. Man United. Keep Casemiro for a season. Give him 100k a week. Big up to Peter. Listen, that would be ideal. That would be ideal. The only thing with me though, yeah, because Casemiro for me could go elsewhere. Imagine if he went to Saudi. If he went to Saudi, he could get more than what he's getting paid at United, realistically, yeah. But if we could keep Casemiro and give him 100 grand a week for him to stay for another season, would Casemiro take that? I'm not sure. 150 grand maybe, but I think a lot of it's going to be down to conversations to see where Casemiro figures in. But I think we definitely should be keeping him, man. No doubt. No doubt we should be keeping him. But yeah, one more season, 100%. Let him nurture Kobe, you know. Let him have an impact on the new signings coming through. Yeah, that would be good, man. 100%. It just shows how bad Amorim was. It's basically near enough the same squad. I think Sesko needs a run of games too. The Sesko one, I don't think Sesko necessarily needs a run of games. I think Sesko as an impact sub works for what he's all about, yeah. Because let's face it, the reason why Sesko's been getting goals off the bench is purely because, yeah, look at Sesko's physicality and his pace. And against tired legs, that's when Sesko's coming alive. But if you start Sesko, you know, Sesko's all-round game isn't of the level of, let's say, a Joshua Zirkzee to be starting regular games. So him coming off the bench is actually working a lot better because he's coming up against tired legs. And there's nothing wrong with that because it's his first season. He's still young. He's got to get used to the Premier League. So, again, I don't necessarily think he has to start more games. I don't think it's that because his role for Man United, as it stands right now, is more effective coming on as a sub, using his energy. You know what I mean? So, yeah. Yeah, big up Clockenders, bro. We'll catch you tomorrow. As I said, man, let's see if the tears will. Let's see if the energy will be here tomorrow, man. Because I'm predicting some tears for you, man. You know, and let's see. But guys, we are gonna wrap it up anyway. Big up to yourselves for coming through. We are gonna be live, guys, tomorrow at 4:15 for the watch along, the Carabao Cup final with myself and Fitz. So yeah, make sure you guys come through. Make sure you're interacting as always, and yeah, big up to Techie Baller, man. We're gonna be live at 4:15 tomorrow for the lineups and then obviously for the watch along. So yeah, man, we'll definitely be live tomorrow. We need a couple of Nah, listen, bro. I don't want Goretzka, man. Throw that in the bin, man. You got to leave, yeah. I'm with that one, but no Goretzka, man. Let's not do that, man. Big up to Doctor says, glad I found your awesome channel. Nah, appreciate it, man. Appreciate it. Guys, yeah, if you do enjoy the content, make sure that you sub to the channel if you're new in there. And again, check out all my other content. I've got some good playlists on there as well. All different stuff. You know, whether you might want to see me scoring some goals in five-a-side, or talking on different things as well. Yeah, make sure you check that out. But we are going to be live tomorrow for the watch-along, as I say, at 4:15. So, yeah, it's going to be a tense game, man. Looking forward to it. So, yeah, big up to everyone coming through. Make sure you smash the like button on your way out. Make sure you sub to the channel as well. If you're new in here, make sure you share the channel. And, again, massive day tomorrow for so many reasons. And let's see what happens, man. Let's see what happens. But I'm predicting, as I said, 2-0 Man City. And let's see what Arsenal do from here. Again, if Arsenal do win, then you have to give them credit. But I think Man City, they're gonna show up tomorrow, man. Last question before we wrap it up. Yeah, 316 says, if you could take any Arsenal player, who you taking? Good question. If I could take any Arsenal player, who do I look at? I'd probably say Urian Timber. If I could get rid of Dallo and bring in Timber, I think it'd be Urian Timber. Yeah. Yeah, Urian Timber. Urian Timber or Eberechi Eze for me. Yeah, I mean, Doctor, I don't want any Arsenal players, but because he asked me, surprised you didn't take Gabriel. You know what? I think Gabriel's a good defender, but, and again, this ain't taking nothing away from Gabriel. I think Gabriel is made to look a lot better than what he probably is because of Arsenal's defensive structure. This is why I'm saying I want to see when Arsenal are chasing a game where it leaves gaps and you see Gabriel having to earn his money and defend. That's what I want to see. But he is a good defender. There's no doubt in that. But if it was one player, I'd probably say Urian Timber as a right back in place of Dallo for me. You know, that's what I'd say. That's what I'd say. But guys, big up yourselves anyway. Big up to all the mods as well. And yeah, listen, we're going to catch you tomorrow at 4:15. Obviously, hope to see you guys back at 4:15 for this watch along. And yeah, as I said, we will get into this Arsenal Man City game. And yeah, listen, massive game tomorrow, man. Looking forward to it. So yeah, if anything, guys, I'll catch you guys tomorrow. Smash the like, sub to the channel. Make sure you share the channel. And yeah, see you guys tomorrow at 4:15. Take it easy.